You were a 14-year-old male cash register worker by day, yet a notorious villain known specifically by mutants for coming by and more or less just stealing dangerous substances such as mutagen, or the ooze as most called it. One day, while you were working like usual, the turtles spot you because they were on one of their usual surface runs to get the regular necessities. Do you recognize them as mutants? And they can tell. So Donnie goes up to you and says, excuse me, sir. You seem to recognize us. Do you? Then you quietly say, I know that you guys are mutants. Based off appearance, you're turtles. I just hope you haven't heard of me. And they look at you in confusion. Then Mikey asks, why not? You seem like a nice person. Then you say, well, the thing is, I'm a villain. I've been working on stealing the ooze. That way I can figure out how to either A, mass produce it, or B, figure out exactly how to reverse its effects. One of my friends was transformed into an idiotic, clumsy bull from it. He says his name's Bullhawk now. Then Leo happily says, yeah, we've met him before. Really nice guy. I think he's taken up dancing now. Then you chuckle and say, yeah. After a while, and you're actually getting along with the turtles, despite the fact you had already told them that you were a villain. And they had helped you figure out what you were going to do with the ooze. Since tons of people wanted to go back to being human instead of being a mutant, they had helped you figure out that you wanted to make it so that there was an antibody for mutagen. And a lot of the time, you would just randomly hand it to people. The first person you tested it on was Bullhop, and when it worked with no side effects, the turtles helped you mass produce it. After a while, since you weren't really a villain anymore, instead you were more of a anti-hero, you more or less just worked from the sidelines, and you kept your cashier job. A lot of the time, it was obvious that you loved the turtles, but you would always try to hide it or deny it when someone brought it up. However, the turtles were starting to get suspicious. So, one day, when you and them were hanging out at April's, you were just on the roof, taking a break from people, and Leo asks April, hey April, do you he likes us. Then April looks at them with slight confusion, then asks, who are you talking about, Lee? If you're talking about Listener, then yeah, he definitely loves you. I mean, he literally told me, so... That kind of surprises the turtles, because they know you're more of the conservative type, kind of person who doesn't like to talk about feelings, like Donnie. However, you would often tell April, Senor Hueso, Splinter, or even just your family about your love for the turtles. After a while, you would come back in because, well, you didn't want to stay outside all night. And the turtles are just staring at you, which kind of concerns you. So you ask, boys, is something wrong? Did something happen while I was out? Then Mikey just comes up to you and hugs you, which confuses you, making you think that something bad did happen. Then Mikey quietly says, I hope you realize we love you too. That kind of surprises you. Both because, well, you didn't expect the turtles to be gay, and because you didn't expect them to know. After all, you hadn't told them, so why would they know? And then you realize April most definitely told them. Then you just chuckle and say, well, I'm glad you feel the same. After about a week of you and them dating, you had started to notice that the boys would just have random flirting contests. See which of them was the better flirt. And which of them could flirt better with you specifically. And a lot of the time, it was either Donnie or Leah. Mikey, when he flirts, it would generally just be cute or innocent. Or just hilarious. When Raph tries to flirt, it just ends up in him stuttering and stumbling over his words. A lot of the time, you would pretend like it was just interesting to you, which would often result in Raph being overly flustered. One day, when you had gotten to the lair after you had finished working, you notice that the boys aren't there, so you're a little concerned. Then you see Splinter and ask, hey Splints, where are the guys? Are they on a mission? Visiting April? And then Splinter says, oh, don't worry, they'll be back soon. They were just out going to go get you, in all actuality. And then you look at him in slight confusion. Then you say, but they know that I'll just come back after work. Then he chuckles and says, well, I thought you were taking longer than usual. So they got worried then decided to come on out. And you chuckle and say, well, it was a particularly busy day. So I suppose that's reasonable. After a while, when the turtles get back, Mikey immediately clings on to you. You can tell that he's worried. Then you say, it was a busy day. Sorry for being so late. After a while, you can kind of tell that the turtles are calmer, but still not completely sure that you're being truthful. It's as though they want to make sure that you're okay, but they don't want to freak you out. After an hour or two, you're just cuddling with them, watching an action movie. You had just given them each a kiss, which resulted in Raph's face going redder than his mask. Mikey just kissing you back. Donnie getting all stuttery. And Leo just more or less just not responding. Because, well, that's what he does when he's not used to something. After a while, since you're still cuddling with them, you calmly say that you love them. And then they all respond simultaneously, but in different ways. Donnie says, love you too, babe. Leo says, te amo Jamblin, mi amor. Raph says, love you too, hon. Then Mikey says, love you too, sugar cube. Then you all fall asleep while cuddling.